In 2017, Harbor Freight released their line of Bauer Power Tools, and this was a huge change for Harbor Freight. They were going away from the old, cheap, eat and easy and throw it away kind of tools to their good, better, best, where you could still have the cheap stuff, you could buy really good stuff, and then you could get that kind of Goldilocks zone, the in-between, and that's where Bauer was. And now, years later, they fleshed out the line. There's a ton of great tools. There's over 350 SKUs in the brand. So I'm going to go through and show you what I think are the hottest, the best, the must-have Bauer tools. And then we'll talk about some of the dogs, all right? So first up, we got to talk about the real champ of the Bauer line, and that is the 1/4-inch hex 3-speed impact. This tool, and I've got it right here. This tool it's amazing what you can get. This is a brushless tool that comes in at list price of $40. Now that doesn't include the battery, but for a tool only, you're getting a brushless impact, compact. Look at the size of that, with the tri-light in it, with the nice chuck on it. Now it isn't the quick chuck, that would be nice. I totally agree. You got the 3 power settings down here so you can change it. You've got great ergonomics in this, really well made. You got the glass fiber filled resin poly body on it with the rubber overmold. Basically, it is on par competing with the likes of Ryobi, Porter Cable, even Craftsman at that level. And coming from Harbor Freight, this flew in the teeth of a lot of people. A lot of people saying, Harbor Freight can't make good tools. Apparently they can. This is a game changer. And if you're going to be in the Bauer lineup, this is a must-have tool. It simply is, as I said, $40 list price on it. And then when it goes on sale, you're looking at getting another, 20 to 25% off on that. I mean, this tool coming in at $32 is absolutely absurd. It really is. And then we've got the Bauer 20-volt brushless cordless high torque impact. Now, I do have this tool. I don't have it here at the shop right now, but it is for the DIYer. All right, everyone talks about the Milwaukees and the DeWalts and even the Hercules Ultra Torque. We love that term. The Ultra Torque and stuff. That's great and all, but for the DIYers, they're like, well, what about us? We want a high torque. And man, Harbor Freight delivered on this one. It is a screaming little bugger and just a real jump over if you know the old Bauer high torque, they're not high torques, the old Bauer impact wrenches. This thing was a huge. It was like a moon launch kind of difference in tech from the old one. And coming in at $130, and we see this on sale all the time for $100 for a brushless high torque tool only for $100. That really then changes the game for the home player, for the DIYer. All right, and then it took them a while. Let's be honest, it took them a while because Bauer launched in 2017. It was all brush tools, and then I think it was 2022 is when we started seeing, the brushless tools show up. And then the high torque showed up in 2023. And it wasn't until just last year that we finally saw a brushless hammer drill. And it's a great hammer drill. It's nice compact size, and it's got the handle on it for stability. And I got to tell you, and the price at $50 for a brushless hammer drill, it's a no-brainer. Is it a super high torque hammer drill? No, but look at the price. You got to take everything you got to adjust for the price, what you're stepping into, what you're committing to. And at $50, and again, what's the rule at Harbor Freight? You don't shop without a coupon, right? So you don't buy stuff at list. We always talk about, we always promote buying stuff when they're on sale, and they're on sale all the time. And at $50, that means you're looking at paying $40 max on this tool only. Metal chuck, side control handle, brushless tech on it, tool only for $40. That is, again, that's a no-brainer on that one. All right, now this one, some people may like this, some people may not like. I've got this. I think Harbor Freight sent it to me. In fact, they sent me a good deal of the Bauer line. For those of you who don't know, we've worked with Harbor Freight on and off for years, and a lot of other tool companies. We've been sent tools by pretty much every other tool company that's out there. But that said, I don't remember if they bought this or if they sent it or if I bought this one myself. But either way, it's kind of a go-to tool around the house. I use it for trimming the dog's nails. I use it for all sorts of stuff. And the fact that it's got the flex lead on it means you're not dealing with all that vibration in the hand like you would with a standard kind of Dremel, and you can get in there, you can get more detail in it. It's really nice because you pop the battery on it. Now I can take it anywhere. I need to work on something, doing some interior work in the car. I can do that. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to run an extension cord or anything like that. I really like this tool. I think it's very underrated at $35. And again, on sale, you're looking at sub 30 on that. All right, then we got the shop blower. Everyone needs a shop blower. And at $40, this thing is fantastic. This is what's going to get, like, you could sweep all day long. All right, you can use that broom as much as you want, but you're still going to be left with a fine layer of dust. And taking one of these, open up the garage door and just blowing it all out, gets rid of everything. They're great. You can use it for leaves and small stuff like that, but it is tons of great stuff. You could dry the car, you could blow dry the dog, the children. I don't care what you use it on. It's $40. It's just a great little tool for $40. I love it. All right, then we got the heat gun. And I got to say, $38, cordless heat gun, tool only. I was kind of sus on this. I'm like, how good can a cordless heat gun be? And I'll be honest, it's not like it's gonna like just ramp right up and melt the. Okay, it's getting hot. All right, I'm moving to a point where I got pretty good pain tolerance, but yeah, it works. It really does. I don't want to point at my camera too much. It works. Yeah, see how I let go and it's still running. It's cooling itself down. It does all of that. It's got the little hook on the back here. I think, it goes up. There we go. Little tiny rafter hook on it because of course you're going to be up in the rafters using this thing. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is it does work. And I find myself reaching for this a lot more than I thought I would. And I know those of you who have a cordless heat gun, put it down in the comments, because if you're like me, you're like, I don't know, can a cordless really put out that enough heat? And the fact is, it doesn't put out as much heat as a corded heat gun. It just doesn't. But oftentimes, that's a good thing, because then I don't have to worry as much about overheating and peeling my paint off and doing all this other damage and stuff. This makes it a lot easier to control. And again, at $38 list, that's not even sale price, at $30 list, that's a pretty good deal. All right, then we got the Bauer glue gun. This is, again, another one of these tools where I was like, is it really worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. Having a cordless glue gun is great. Having a cordless glue gun that takes tool batteries is phenomenal. And there's a lot of great times when I'm just like, I just need a dab of glue, and I don't want to get out my glue gun, break out the whole kit, and plug in the thing, and then run an extension cord. I just grab this, and it just works. It does. I've tried the Ryobi version. I think I did a comparison between the two years ago. This is definitely one that I bought myself, and at $20. It's like, why not pick it up? On sale or not, at $20 for a cordless glue gun. All right, next up, we got the fan. I have to say, I love this fan. I've got it. It's around here somewhere. You used to see it. I know it's in the shop here. It's in here somewhere. If you see it, let me know, because I was just using it. Oh, it's over there. Here's what I love about it. It's a hybrid. It works off a battery, or you can plug it into an extension cord. So I've used it off an extension cord plugged into the wall. I've used it plugged into one of my power banks, and I've used it with just one of the Ryobi batteries. And it's not super fancy. It has 2 speeds to it, I believe, but it's $25. And that's not even the sale price. $25 for a hybrid. Hey, look how many other tool fans are out there. Most of them are not hybrids. It is really a lot more useful than you'll think. On a hot day, do you want to be chewing through your batteries to run a fan? No, just plug it into the wall. But there are times you want to take it with you. 4th of July here in Montana. Inevitably, the 4th of July is always ridiculously hot. Last year, I took it and I sat it down right in front of me with a big old Bauer battery in it, and I had nice, cool fan wind all day long while everyone else was dying in the heat. I was perfectly fine. Didn't use it this year because I was in the parade. So, all right, next up is another dual power hybrid item here. And this is the Bauer work light. And I'll be honest, I did something bad with mine. I left it plugged in and ran it for I think it was 3 years. And it eventually died. It did. But this was down at my shop, and we do not have the cleanest power here in Montana. I've been checking a lot of the outlets, both at my shop and my studio and the house, and very few of them are spec on frequency wise, which is probably why this died. But that said, 3 years plugged in, never turned off. Probably not a great idea, but and not recommending that you do it. I get it, do as I say, not as I do. But at $35 for a hybrid, again, I just love the fact that the dual voltage, or the dual power source, I should say, on this. All right, then next up, we got to talk about the batteries. The batteries at Bauer, $130 list, non-sale price. 130 for a 12 amp hour battery. Nobody's coming close to Bauer battery prices. Somebody the other day tried to tell me, what was it, that Craftsman or something is the same price. And I'm like, this thing, 5 amp hour currently, and prices have gone up, is currently $65. The Craftsman was twice that, not on sale. All right, and I'm not talking sale prices, because then if you talk sale prices, then we can talk about the constant dual combo they have going all the time, or the 25% on sales you can get, or the other stuff you can do, and that way you can stack and whatnot if you got the credit card. But that said, Bauer is just crushing it when it comes to battery prices. All right, next up, we got to talk the Bauer Oscillating Edge Belt Spindle Sander. Now, if you're familiar with the rigid version of this, Rigid came out this years ago. I got one. Absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. I think it's a must-have almost. I mean, if you've got the money for it. If you don't do a lot of sanding, I get going with just a basic, one of the cheaper, like the $100 ones that's a disc and a belt sander. And I get that. But for just convenience, ease of use, these things are fantastic. And I've talked about the Win ones. Grizzly makes one. And there's like a dozen or so like off-brands, King and something else, and all these other ones. They all come from the same factory. They're all pretty much identical. $200, yeah, okay. But when it goes on sale, getting this for like $140, $160 is just a phenomenal price compared to what you're seeing out everywhere else, all right? And if you are doing woodworking, you know what I'm talking about. This is a must-have. And then let's talk about the other Bauer heat gun. This is the corded heat gun. I talk about this one a lot. And I love it because it's so, the back of it is nice and flat, easy to use, hands-free on it. Because usually when I am doing something with a heat gun, I do like to be able to do it hands-free like this. And that lets me make sure that I'm getting the heat where I want it, and I can manipulate the piece the way I want. You know what I'm saying. It's $35. And again, when you get that 20%, 25% off sale, you're well below $30 on that price point. Next up, we got to talk about the SDS rotary hammer. Now, there are several of these kind of impact hammers that Bauer has, but this is a great one. 10 amp, 1/1/8, nice compact form. It is corded. This is just a great workhorse of a rotary hammer for under $100 at list. And this has got tons and tons of great feedback on it. Lots of people love it. I've heard from tons of people who absolutely love this thing. For under $100, to be able to walk into a store and just buy one is a great deal. All right, and then this is the other one that's just kind of a default. All right, and it has been for years, even when it was the old Chicago Electric. And then they've since, fine-tuned it a little bit, upgraded it to the Bauer Red. You go to tons of woodworking shops, and you will see one of these in the corner. $200, again, that's the list price. Everyone, you want to buy it on sale, but again, at $140, $160, that is a must-have tool. All right, and then this one's one of my favorite. Harbor Freight sent this for me to compare against the Vevor and the Buck tool. Now, the Buck tool was a different size. The Vevor was basically exactly the same, and it was terrible, so terrible. But this tool, you get the grinding wheel, you get the belt sander. You can you can use it for knife sharpening. You can put different, aggregate, different composites on the belt. You can get different wheels too. You've got the great LED gooseneck on this. If you've got limited space and you want a grinder and a sharpener, all this is just a really nice option for $180. It really is, and it's a tool that I absolutely love that I have in my shop. The old Bauer, again, I've still got the Chicago Electric version of this. And not much has changed. I don't know if anything changed other than the name and the shade of red slightly changed. But this is a great, solid, must-have kind of tool. It's $110. It goes on sale below $100 all the time. And it's one of these tools, and I talk about this a lot, if you're not like doing this professionally, don't bother with buying the super high-end tool. Buy the cheap tool, get good blades. Good high-end blades on a tool like this, it's like putting Lamborghini tires on your Honda Accord. It's a stunning change. Now put those Honda tires on your Lamborghini and you're not going to be able to make it around the circuit once, okay? That's what I'm getting at is the consumables on the tool are more important than the tool behind the consumables, all right? And especially if you're not doing this professionally every day and you need that kind of level of reliability. And mine has been entirely reliable. Everyone I know who's got one has lasted forever. I don't think I've even heard of one of these things dying. If yours died, put it down in the comments. I want to hear about it. And also don't forget to add what you were doing when it died. But again, at $110, and when it goes on sale for like, was it $90 or something like that, that is a must-have. I think everyone should have that, especially if you end up getting the Hercules stand that goes with it, because now you have a vertical and you got a horizontal and you can take it out. It's a great tool. All right. And then this is the Bauer 5.7 amp short throw random orbit DA polisher sander. This is like, it's almost a default in professional shops. Now up here in Montana, I don't see a lot of detail shops. It's not something we're really into. We got dirt roads and you'd be detailing it every other day. Trust me, I cleaned out my car and 2 days later I got dust all over the inside of my car. It's dirt road life, right? So, but I spent a lot of time down in Vegas, used to live in Vegas. Every other shop in Vegas is a car detailer and they all have this tool in their shop. It's probably not their primary tool, but one of their secondary, the backups, or a prep tool, they all have it and they all swear by it. They talk about how great it is and they'll go and they'll buy 3 at a time because they churn through them so much. They use them all the time. It is, and asking a guy who's into like hardcore into detailing their cars, they'll all tell you it's a default choice. All right. Then we've got the Bauer 8-inch grinder. I got to talk about this. I know I talked about the belt version of this, but if you're looking for a serious bench grinder, but you're at that DIY level, for just the average homeowner, it's an 8-inch belt grinder. It's variable speed. It's got the gooseneck light. It's $140. You can't go out and buy those the Dayton's anymore, or what was the other, Rockwells and Jets, and oh my gosh, have you seen the price of a Jet grinder these days? Made out of unobtainium apparently, because I'm not obtaining one. I'm not buying one of those. But that's it at $140 list price, mind you, $140 for the home gamer. This is just a no-brainer. All right, next up we got to talk about the Bauer jigsaw. Is this a fabulous jigsaw? No, but it's a $35 jigsaw. It goes on sale for that price all the time. You got your basic 3 orbital settings. That's basically Amazon no-name kind of pricing. All right, here you can walk into the store, you can pick up, you can feel it, you can buy it, you can walk out. You got your 90-day warranty. You can get an extended warranty if you want to. It's not a professional grade tool. It's a sometimes, occasional use kind of tool. And for that, at $35, it's a fantastic choice. And a lot of people, I should do a whole video on jigsaws because they're underrated. People don't realize all the stuff. It's a mini recip saw is all it is. And all the blades you get there for the recip saw, well, maybe not all, but a lot of them, there are blades you can get. You want to cut through galvanized pipe with this? There's a blade for that. Black iron? There's a blade for that. Super fine finish work? There's a blade for that as well. That you just, again, get the right consumable for the tool, all right? Or for the project. The tool is a lot less important than the consumable. Prove me wrong in the comments if you want. All right, and then we've got to talk about the Bauer wet dry vac. $55 list price. This has just been a go-to one. I did a video not too long ago where I compared it to, I guess it was several years ago, where I compared it to the Rigid, and it was able to drain a 5-gallon bucket faster than the Rigid. And Rigid, I'm sorry, Rigid has fallen off when it comes to wet dry vacs. I think there's a different company manufacturing it for them because Rigid doesn't make anything. All right, they're not making the wet dry vacs and stuff. They're just not. I'm sorry, people get butthurt about it when I say it. They're just not. Look, watch all the reviews you want. They're just not where they used to be. Okay, and for the average homeowner, $55. And I talk about the DeWalt Stealth Sonic all the time. Absolutely love those. Okay? But they're not in the same price category, all right? This thing, when it goes on sale, is half the price or a third the price of a DeWalt Stealth Sonic. Is it comfortable to listen to? No, not so much. But you know what? It's really well built. It's very reliable. We've had ours for years, and it just keeps running and running and running. Although, honestly, these days we don't use it as much because I do have the DeWalt. And then, the Bauer pressure washer. People always talk about pressure washers, and I know there's the Portland pressure washer from Harbor Freight that comes, goes on sale for like $70. And it's a decent little pressure washer. But if you want to spoil yourself and get something that's nice and is actually fun to use, this is the pressure washer you need. It's got big wheels. It's not going to tip over when you pull on the hose. It's got a soap dispenser built in. It's got a cord reel built in. It's got holding spots for all the different pressure nozzles there, and it comes with those. Whereas with the Portland, you've got to buy an adapter, then you got to buy the nozzles. Not that they're stupid expensive, but again, you're adding another 10, 20, $30 to the price of that once you're back up at $100. And this is just a way better form factor. It gets you more power, more reliability, and it's just, you're going to be happier using it. Wheeling this thing out versus pulling out that spaghetti monster that is the Portland, this is the way to go here, okay? All right, and then we've got the Bauer modular tote. Now, we're going to talk about the full Bauer modular system here in a little bit. Spoiler alert, not a fan. But I do like this, especially when you can get a sale price, because you know what? Milk crates are great. And it used to be back in the day, you could score a bunch of milk crates pretty easily. And maybe you still can, but they're cracking down on that because they're not your milk crates, right? They usually have something on it that says, this does not belong to you, return it to so-and-so. But you can buy milk crates too. You can go on Amazon and just buy them. But it's a good size, and they lock together if you need to move them. Just for the milk crate-ish use of it, I think these things are fantastic. Get them on sale. And they're really usable for a lot of stuff. Camping, storing stuff around the house, moving. You gonna move somebody? Locking milk crates, dude. Throw it on a hand truck and just go to town. That's really useful. Trust me, I've been there, all right? Now, the Bad Dog Awards. These are the ones I'm not a fan of. First off, we gotta talk about the original Bauer Impact Wrench. And I've done a handful of jobs on the trucks with this tool, and it was not, it did the job mostly, but it's not got a ton of power. But that's not the biggest issue with it. The biggest issue with it is how big it is. It's big, it's huge. Trying to do brake calipers and get behind it, couldn't do it with this tool. Just wasn't gonna happen. All right, and you can see it's on clearance. It's going away. It should go away. It was okay when they started, and for the price, especially when it was on sale, wasn't a bad deal, especially if you're just changing tires and stuff like that. But if you got to do real projects, this is not the tool for you. Now, the next one is the Crown Stapler at $100. The nailer's not bad, but the stapler, I hear tons and tons of feedback from people it doesn't have enough power, doesn't have enough power, doesn't have enough power. And then I had, and I talked about this before, and a bunch of people I love my Crown Stapler, and then they're at least half of them came back and were okay, I went out and used it again, and you're right, it doesn't have enough power. I don't know. And then we got to talk about the Bauer recip saw. Honestly, nothing wrong with this tool except for the fact it's brushed. The brushless tool, the brush tool just chews through batteries. Eats them like Tic Tacs. It's a decent tool. It feels good to use. I find it more ergonomic than the Hercules saw. The Hercules saw has a weird it comes back over the webbing and it just kind of pinches on me. This one just feels good in the hand, but it's brushed, and that just means you're constantly changing that battery. If you're just doing some light work, a little bit here, a little bit there, probably fine. If you're doing a big project, you're going to be regretting it. And then the other option is popping that 12 amp hour battery on it. So sure, it'll last a good long time. Now you're lugging a 12 amp hour battery everywhere. No one wants to do that. All right, next up, we've got the Bauer Circ Saw. Again, this is one of these tools that not necessarily bad, I'm just not a fan of. Maybe you are. Maybe you like it. Maybe you got dropped on your head as a child. I don't know. Probably though. Anyway, a joke. Here's my issue with it. It's a 6.25 inch blade. It's not the 7.25. It's left facing. I prefer right facing. I know a lot of you like the left facing saws. Again, dropped on your head as a child. And it's brushed. That's 3 strikes, brother. And for me, 3 strikes amount. I'd rather get, and it is more money. I think it's like $80 to get the brushed 7.25 right facing saw. But that is the right choice, not this one. All right, and then this. If you probably saw my video on it. And they sent me a replacement one to see if it was the issue. It's not the issue. Now, to be fair, I had a bunch of extensions, or I had a extension on it, which does reduce the viability of it. It's got ridiculously low torque. I don't see the use case in this. I don't. If you want something like this, buy the Bauer, ratchet. Buy the 1/2 inch ratchet or the 3/8 ratchet. It'll do the same job. I've tried it. It'll do the same job. It'll do it with more power, and the head isn't as small, so the head access could be an issue. But it's easier to use an extension with the ratchet than it is with the impact. And I said we'd talk about it. I'm not a fan of the Bauer storage boxes. They're not bad. They're really ruggedly made. Okay? I find the wheels to be a little bit small. The latches on the side, the metal, that's kind of, I don't know, it's fine. It's really fine. It gets hot in the Vegas sun, I'll tell you that. But the slide, I don't like the way it locks. It just locks in. I prefer the ones that like clip down. These slide in, which means any grit or anything in there, when it tries to slide in, it's going to bite, and it's either going to be stuck on, or you're not going to get it to close, and you got to get a can of air or something, blow it out. There's better options out there. The DeWalt T-Stack for one, and granted, I think it's a smaller box. The T-Stack, I'll have to look and compare the two. But I love the milk crates on their own. As a system, not a fan. And last up is, it's the drywall sander. And the reason why this sucks is because sheetrock sucks. The tool's actually fine. I just hate sheetrock. I did a lot of it when I was younger, and I hated every moment of it. So there's nothing wrong. If you got to do it, buy the tool. You'll probably be fine. Do not invite me to that party. I don't care how much beer and pizza you buy. I will not be showing up to help you with your sheetrock. Anyway, that's all I got here for you. Let me know if you think I missed something on the list. If you think there was something that was good that shouldn't have been on it, something that I said was good that you don't feel is good, or anything else. Well, let me know how you're feeling today. Anyway, if you like what we do here, go ahead and chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.